Dude, when I first found out about that GoFundMe, I was in the hospital. It was maybe like 2 days after the accident happened. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have any idea.
I don't think any of us had our phones for like 2 or 3 days. So
I think Brandon came in and told me that the GoFundMe was at like $80,000, and I was like, holy shit. And then to learn that it grew like past 200,000 was just beyond me. And that's like all the other donations that people are sending us, you know, all of our friends' bands that have like made shirts and like done anything to just support us, even just share our situation. You know, it blew my mind. And like that kind of reminded me why I love hardcore and metal so much, because like it's such a community and people really care about each other, even when they don't know you. You know, I've seen like some like
really people we've never even like been in the same room as like donate like $500 to us. Like I look through like every person that donated, and I'm like,
dude, shout out to fucking Architects. I'm not like, I don't consider myself a fan of that band, but they donated a lot of money to us, and none of us have talked to them. We've never played with them. Just the fact that they went out of their way to give us a lot of money to help us out.
That's the thing about the like community of like heavy music, is like we're on pretty different spectrums, but we're in the same world. Like it doesn't matter what you sound like we're all in it for to take care of each other. So
it means a lot. And even still, you know, now like a month and a half later, people are still sharing it around, still donating, still just caring about us, which means a ton. Like it means more than I can ever put into words. So
yeah, even at this point, like we have no idea what like the expenses are going to be. Like
we don't know what the future's
like
going to be like.
Insurance is already trying to fuck us. Like
so
we never know. So it's like anything helps, and it's like the fact that this many people have been able to like show support, whether it like be the GoFundMe or like friends, bands of ours making shirts and stuff. It's like it's incredible. I can never muster the words to like repay.
Shout out to everybody. That's fucking awesome. Literally, I can't say anything else. You know, I broke my femur and a little bit of my foot, and but I've been doing really good lately. You know, ever since I got out of the hospital, I've just been kind of walking around on a single crutch and just, you know, been getting back to kicking ass a little bit. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, then like staying busy writing music stuff. Anyways, I like to go over my injuries. I dislocated both my ankles and had multiple fractures. I have like metal on both sides of both my feet. It's fucked up. Terminator mode.
We're all stitched up, dude. We're all ready to kick ass again. You know, just gotta heal a little bit.
To be honest, like us transitioning to the lineup that we have now, it was almost on accident, because the way that things worked out with Maddie singing for our Europe tour last year, our old singer couldn't come because he didn't get his passport renewed, so he literally couldn't leave the country. So it was like within a week she had to like basically learn how to be a front person and sing. She'd done backups for the band, but basically just like sing for the first time for like 30 minutes straight. And
above all, it felt very natural anyways, because
seriously.
like, you know, at least like the four of us had such a strong connection, and we always hung out and we were like really close friends. So like throughout all the lineup changes they had, even before even either of us were in the band, you know, that it's when you find that like core group of people, that's what really helps you persevere and like push through everything. Like despite all the hardships you have, even right now, you know, it's like, you know, I can't be out there in Salt Lake City with them, but like, you know, we still have that connection, and we still have like that, you know.
Sometimes it's not obvious, but once you find that core group of people, like it's hard to break it.
Yeah.
Like the way, like your dynamic as a band, as friends, like everything. It's
a good way to put it. A lot of bands can't find that, you know. That's why sometimes you see like bands that 20 years over the course of their life, they just have that one original member, and everybody else kind of comes and goes, which is not always such a bad thing, but it's good to see when bands kind of keep their core lineup and just, you know, just stick through it and just keep going, keep kicking ass. So that's our plan too whenever we decide to come back. So it's funny because we've toured with so many bands that we look up to, and bands that like are a lot older than us.
It honestly doesn't matter. Like they'll be 20 years older than me. They're the same as we are. Like,
it's really like
going since this band's been going since 2015. Like some of these bands been going for 30 years. Like we function the same exact way. It's like,
I feel like especially in hardcore, like a lot of bands still keep that DIY mentality. So I feel like we can all really relate on that. And also, you know, despite me being 24 and me touring with somebody that's 50, like I could still relate to them on a lot of stuff because we just all love hardcore.
The only like advice is just to get out there and do it. Like grind and do it.
Like it goes for any band. Just like take any opportunity you can just to tour. Like
play with anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, it really does help you, you know. And then, like I said before, like just making friends in the scene, and that's the same thing on tour. You go on tour with these bands you don't really know. You make friends with them. They look out for you in the future. They ask you to be on their bigger tour, or like, you know, they ask you to open up their show that's like for Dying Fetus or something. Like it's as easy as that. So, you know, I think just the biggest advice that we've gotten is just to keep going, keep touring as much as you can, and don't lose that fire that you have as a band, you know. Dude, like I mentioned before, I think the biggest thing is like making a band work is just having that connection. Like, you know, at least with the four of us, like I feel like the four of us are one thing. It sucks when you have like that one person in your band or somebody else that just like feels like they're away from you and they don't, you know, they don't have like that, they're not in your circle.
Yeah.
Some people make it work, you know, some people don't care. They're just like, I'm just kind of here to make money. But I think you know, what makes bands last the longest is just keeping that friendship you have all the time. And, you know,
yeah, truly.
That's the most important thing to me too. I would be nowhere without my friends. So, you know, having friends in your band, even cooler. I feel like I could speak for the both of us. We both kind of like grew up doing the same exact thing because we're twins. We had a local venue near our house called The Grange. It was literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So
half a mile away.
Yeah, so I like started just by going to like local like metalcore shows and stuff. Pretty much anything that was happening.
Yeah, I have to mention our first show, we were literally 11 years old.
Yeah, our first band and everything. We played our first show when we were 12. We wrote it EP when we were 12. And it
was dog shit.
For a 12-year-old, it wasn't that bad, but, you know. It's a feat, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's really cool that like even when you're in public and you see like that guy with the obituary shirt. Even earlier, I was at the rest stop in New Jersey and I saw a guy with a Dying Fetus shirt. I was like, "Yo, nice shirt."
We didn't even speak to each other, but like we double take each other,
you
and
just
now
have
that's
that
all
like
it is.
connection, you know. And it's like I feel like that's something you really only see in heavy music. And you might see that guy at a show down the line, you know, if you live near each other, and then you might make friends, and then you might start a band with them. You know, it's like it's that easy, you know. And like this whole tour package, you know, it's like. I know pretty much everybody here, which was part of the reason why I wanted to show up. But it's just like you make those friends on tour and you play with those bands, and it's just like that's like a friendship you never lose. You know, it's like a connection you never lose too. So
it's a bond you don't really make anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, since the pandemic, there's been so much more like young people coming out, and it's like they're actually stoked to be there. It's way more inclusive nowadays, and I think it's awesome. Like, yeah,
I mean, people like kind of hate on like the whole TikTok hardcore thing. Like I sort of agree, but it's like it's also like giving it out. Like people are finding hardcore through that, which is a good and a bad thing in different aspects. But like I think it's cool because I saw when I started going to shows, most of the time there was like a lot of people, and then I saw a wave. It kind of went down, and then there was like nobody going to shows. But recently, it's just grown so much, and like I feel like that's the biggest thing that's changed since I've been in the scene. Because I really haven't been in that long. You know, I'm only 24, so like you know I started music early, but it's cool to see that like people like Sanguisugabog can come to Asbury Park, and I imagine the show's gonna be pretty packed, and their whole tour has been great for them. So that's like that goes to show that like music's in a really great place right now. So, you know, really. I'm happy to see it. You know,
the hardest working fucking band, a band that literally fucking toured until the fucking wheels fell off, and they'll be coming fucking back. Make some goddamn noise for Year of the Knife. In Delaware. Hands down, the fucking definition of a hardcore band is fucking Year of the Knife, man. And right now, fucking Maddie, their vocalist, is out fucking doing therapy. Just suffered major injuries and a brain trauma from a vehicle accident. At our merch booth, we have a QR code. If you have anything extra to give at all, they deserve every fucking penny of what you give them.
You know, I can't say thank you more to everybody that's just been supporting us and sharing their stuff around and being helpful. You know, we'll be back. Who knows how long, but you know, when we come back, we're coming back strong. We've got a whole LP's worth of music that could be coming out sooner than later. Keep an eye out for that. Until then, we're just gonna sit around and just chill and just heal, and you know, everybody will be back to 100% at some point. So, thank you again, everybody, for you know, for everything.
For real, yeah.